Hey guys, I am making a pizza tonight out of cauliflower. I went ahead and did a bunch of prep work just because I know it takes a while. But I got, let's see if I'm getting it in the camera. This is green jackfruit. It still tastes about the same. Kind of reminds me of bell pepper texture, just a little bit more firm and crunchy. Bell pepper, I guess it's not as dense, more liquidy, I guess, if that would make sense. Oops, I'm gonna make everybody really dizzy. So I did a half a pound of mozzarella, went ahead and cut out my olives. I just used one of those little easy cutter thingies. Just did a bell pepper, onion, spinach I'll put on, then of course pineapple. This will go on after the pizza is cooked. There we go. What do you call it? Avocado! This is my lovely dump bin for the chickens. With the green jackfruit, not much different than the ripe, it's just a little bit more firm. And I noticed that the fibrous stuff is a lot stickier, and so I got a film on my hands. So it's gonna get noisy here. I'm gonna go ahead and juice the cauliflower, and I just dispose of it unless I'm making a soup or something, just because cruciferous vegetables are actually going to downregulate your thyroid if you're juicing them, and so you want to stay away from that. But if you want to save it, you can always make, like I said, a soup or add it to a soup base. So this gets pretty noisy here. This is just a high-speed juicer. Kind of noisy, so set that aside. And that was a small cauliflower. Usually I find a little bit bigger one, but my kids aren't here today, so it's just me. Boyd's here, and so we will, I should say just Boyd and I, if I'm using correct grammar. So let me kind of scrape this stuff out. Like I said, I'll probably just dispose of it. I really don't have a soup or anything that I'm wanting to keep it for. And so I'm actually on a Facebook Live right now, just letting you know. So get this stuff all scraped out. Still haven't quite figured out how to pause the videos, so we'll just go. Let's see. Guess I could turn it better. Or not. This stand kind of has a mind of its own here. There we go. Just kind of get it out of the juicer container. You can also like put it in a food processor and grate it. I like the texture a little bit better when it's been juiced. You'll notice that there is orange in there. I don't remember if I said it, but I did, oh gosh, I guess about 3 medium-sized carrots. You can do more or less depending on if you want that in it. I find it doesn't really do any damage to it, adds nutrition. The kids like it, so I add carrot to mine. I have also added cauliflower and cabbage, or excuse me, cauliflower, Cauliflower is the main ingredient. What do you call it? Celery and cabbage. Brain fart. So anyway, this is when you get real TB. All that jazz. So I'm gonna just try to salvage as much as I can on these solids, because that is your base. Whenever I get it, I'll be putting it in my mixer. Usually about a cup of gluten-free flour or tapioca. The tapioca starch is a really good binder for a lot of these recipes. I kind of like it better than some of the flour recipes, but I'll still add, for about every 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of, my words are just not coming, so I will grab it. Xanthan gum. And so I just keep mine in a container. They come in a bag with the, what's that brand? Rob's Red Mill. And I just cut it out and organized it. So yeah, probably got home early this morning, so it's been one of those long days. So yeah, not a lot. So I'll just get it in the mixing bowl and figure out, not sure where my good mixing paddle is. It disappeared a while back. So, might be going online to get another mixing paddle. So we'll just use the mixing kind of whiskey type thing. Alright, so I think it's about a cup of flour that I had mixed up. It's good enough for me. It's not quite a large cauliflower, so that'll work. Then, let's see where I guess I could have just do a quarter. So I got a quarter teaspoon here. That's good enough, right? Sometimes you just kind of wing it. It's the way it is. It's all good. We make it work. Okay, so some salt. I think with that size of a batch, it's probably a good solid 2 cups of plant matter. I think this is about a teaspoon. No, it's not. That's a tablespoon. So I'll just do a half a tablespoon of salt to start. I'm gonna juggle tonight for my first act. Okay, so garlic powder, probably do about the same, just about a half a tablespoon. And with the Italian seasoning, I think I'm just gonna go for a full tablespoon. Kind of make it nice and rich. This is just some of the ones I got over at Costco, I think. But, it's nice. They're getting a lot more organic stuff. I still find more of an organic selection over at Fred Meyer, over at Kroger. I know Utah, you guys have a lot more. The Smiths. I'm trying to remember some of the, King Soopers is in Colorado. I think City Creek is also in Utah and some other states. But yeah, I like their selection better. So, I got these guys. I'm going to throw them in the mixer and we'll check the texture. So I got you staring at the wall there. Here we go. So I'll invite you to come with me. So my mixer here, just kind of throw it down and put it all together. Sometimes there's chunks that don't quite make it in the juicer, so you'll see some. That looks like a pretty good mix. It usually will kind of clump together, and so that's when you'll know it's good. So what I'm going to do is I don't use aluminum cookware. I don't use any kind of cookware that has that, the Teflon. Too many chemicals. I'm not a lab rat, so I'm going to I know glass is safe. So I actually cannibalized my microwave when I quit using microwaves. And I had a nice big microwave plate, so that's what I've kept as my pizza plate. And it works amazingly. And let's see, that's gonna show it good enough. Yeah, that works. I'll just do it over here on the stove. It's pretty hot. I've got the oven set at 350. Because what I'm gonna do is after I get this on here and it's spread out nice, then I'm gonna pre-cook it so it's not soggy. Sometimes they can be a little soggy. If you want your pizza to be vegan, just don't add cheese, because pretty much it's vegan otherwise. I like cheese, so I'll just put cheese on it. But I do it sparingly just because I know dairy's not always the best thing for you. And if I eat too much dairy, I flare up anyway with inflammation. So, little bits at a time. Sometimes you might find that your pizza crust is a little bit wetter, and that's okay. I've done it dry. This is probably about as dry as I've done it. And then, like I said, if they're a little more wet, it's okay as long as it's not like dripping, because you just kind of have to pat it together anyway. A little bit more level there. There we go. Kind of a grainy feel with that particular gluten-free stuff. Hey Ray and Mila, how are you guys? Speaking of amazing cooks, these guys own a restaurant here in Pocatello called The Healthier Place to Eat. It's really good. Really like their gluten-free pizzas are awesome. And so, I guess my hands are sticky. I wonder if I had to get a little bit of coconut oil on my hands. Sometimes it helps to get a little oil. So, yeah, I guess one of my habits is I just kind of play with recipes until I either love it or hate it, or I'm gonna really get my hands. It's a lot of coconut oil, but we'll see if this works. That's a little bit better. So yeah, it is a little dry, but I think it'll still be okay. And it's such a small dude, I might just even bring it in a bit. When my boys are here, usually I get a lot bigger cauliflower, so sometimes experiments work, sometimes they don't quite, and that's all good. It's a learning process. That's the thing. Did I learn a lesson? Yeah, I guess so. I'm pretty easygoing on it, I suppose. So, there's another place in Salt Lake that's really good that I really love, the Zest Kitchen. Oh, that's so yum. They've got a lot of organics. Everything's gluten-free and vegan there. Gosh, what's that salad I had? It was kind of a mixed dark greens, and they had a curry sauce on it that was so amazing. It was a yellow curry that they put on it. It was really awesome. They made a jackfruit patty that, I think it was a cashew patty that they had added the shredded jackfruit to it. I think I remember tasting some horseradish in it. It was really good. So I just kind of pat it around to make sure that it's stuck together really well. So just for two of us, a smaller pizza is perfect. Very gunky hands. wipe them off a bit. I guess that's why we have washing machines. We can clean our towels and junk. Alright, so get this guy in the oven for about 10 minutes. Really simple. It's one thing I do like. There is a little prep time just because, you know, doing fresh things. You can double your batch if you want, triple it, you know, whatever. I haven't really frozen any pizza crust, but I guess you could. You can freeze anything you want. Hey Susan, how are you, sweetie? So, get this stuff kind of, got the pizza crust in the oven, and then when we get it out, we'll put on our awesome toppings. But yeah, I really like this jackfruit. I think I like it better green. It's a little firmer, less sweet, and so I'm excited to try it on the pizza. It's really good. Let's see. So, well, I'm glad you're a little less. I love you, Susan. You're pretty awesome. So, I'm just waiting. TikTok on the timer. I guess I really didn't time it. I just kind of used my nose. So, I'm trying to think what other... Oh, what we could do... because this is the jackfruit. I'll set this down again. Oh boy, it's gonna be busy Easter for you, huh, lady? So, what I do is I cut the rind off. I guess I could do it while we're waiting. It's not like I have nothing to do, right? We're gonna put my... I'll set it down in the sink here. Or no, I didn't. It's right here. I love my fillet knife because it is perfect for filleting jackfruit. So, let's see if I can get this here again. But it's not a perfect science. Kinda gonna freak people out. Cut away from your body! Yes! So, my chickens have been liking to eat what's left of this. Oh, that is so cool. It's kind of a beehive shape. I guess I didn't even notice it when it wasn't green because it's a little tougher. A little paring knife to start it. Like these little forever sharps or whatever they are. Pretty nice. There we go. Get in there and all that fun stuff. What I'm thinking I want to do is maybe some more barbecue. And since the jackfruit's already out, I'm not using it for this pizza. I'm going to throw it in the crock pot tonight and have barbecue tomorrow. So I figure while I'm waiting on pizza, two, right? 2 recipes in one, baby. So I will keep on getting this bad boy filleted. There we go. Like I said, not a perfect science. I'm sure there's some people out there that are amazing chefs cringing right now at my my use of knife skills or lack thereof, but whatever works, right? Just a mom on a mission, that's all. And I'm just gonna cut towards myself again. Being as careful as I can do it. Yeah, that's really cool. It's got, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see, kind of a geometric pattern. It's pretty cool. Nature's awesome. Pretty rockin'. So, I'm excited to try this one because usually when I get a hold of jackfruit here in Pocatello, it is a lot riper, a lot more ripe, and so very, very sweet. It still tastes good in the barbecue. I really liked it the last time I did it with the barbecue. And I'm wondering if the texture will be different. Not quite sure. Guess it'll be good to find out. Check that pizza in a minute. It's starting to smell good. Okay. So, get that separated from the rind. And that's pretty simple. And then I'm going to put my crock pot. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. I found it. So, gonna make a nice, lovely mess in my kitchen. So I'm just gonna put it straight in like this into the crock pot. This will go out to the birds, and they will just love me forever. Guess there's a little bit more I could get off if I wanted to. Okay, so let's see. What's a good recipe for barbecue? A little tomato sauce is always good. I kind of wing it. So let's see. I think I might do 2 of these. So about 16 ounces of just tomato sauce. Nothing fancy. So, you can watch me while I wing it. Alright. Yeah, the last time I did this, it was really good. I was very, very impressed. So, whoever is the one that discovered jackfruit and how to make it so amazing is awesome. I'll probably just let it cook like that. Just mix everything in. Probably would have been easier to mix it. You know, like I said, I'm winging it. Okay. Looking pretty good. Cute. Okay. Garlic is always a good addition to that, so I was thinking, what about a teaspoon? So here we go. Since I'm winging it all, that's not a teaspoon. It's probably closer to a tablespoon right there. Oops. It hath come out very fast. Okay, there we go. That's about a teaspoon-ish. It works. Vinegar. Get that all in. Just kind of pour it in. It's all going to incorporate, and I'll just mix it up later. It'll be good. I'm amazed how slow it'll go, because I'll actually, whenever I do plug it in, I'm going to just keep it on warm all night. And then let everything just mix and incorporate beautifully. Let's see. Little Worcestershire sauce. Do about a capful. It's probably, I don't know, about close to a tablespoon. It's a deep cap. Excuse me. Let's see. One of the ingredients that's always good is molasses. So, let's see, it's about that much. I'll just do yay much of a molasses. So it's probably gonna be about a tablespoon of molasses. And I guess I'll mix it a little. Ish. probably driving some of you guys nuts. It's kind of mix it all. Like I said, by the time morning comes, it's gonna be like falling apart and mixable anyway, so nice. It's always nice to be able to do a couple meals in one. But it's food prepping, so yeah, that's just the mixed up green ready to go. Plug it in and yum yum. Green jackfruit. You know, I found it today over at Fred Meyer. They usually have it cut in, I don't like the discs that they're cutting it in. I prefer it when they cut it in wedges, and so usually when they're available I will grab a wedge. I'm trying to think. I really didn't look to see if it was green just because when I've got it before it's just been, I guess, ripe. But I lucked out today, and so I think the stuff that they have today right now in their refrigerator area is green. I'm trying to think how much weight that I got today. I guess I didn't save that. This one was about $7 for that size of a chunk. I think once it cooks down, it's going to be probably about 2 cups, if that. But, you know, throw it over some rice or something. Jackfruit is pricey, but I like it. I'm kind of an addict now on jackfruit. So I'm going to set the crock pot aside now that it's ready to go for tomorrow. You don't have to make your own barbecue sauce. I just prefer doing it because I know that I'm not getting all the gook that they put in it, and it's less sugar, because I really don't like that much sugar in my life, just because after having cancer, knowing that cancer feeds it, yeah, I like to stay away from that. Alright, so this is pretty hot. It doesn't really brown, it just kind of helps it to solidify a little better, stick together a little better. So for pizza sauce, pretty simple. A little garlic and salt, and I'm throwing stuff. Yes, score. Okay, little of the Italian seasoning. Really simple. Again, I do my own stuff just because I like to know what's in my food. And there it is. Prefer to know that I'm feeding my kids and myself and anyone else that eats with me healthy. Just, it feels better, even though I still have some brain farts here and there. I think a little more clearly, definitely since doing the heavy metal detoxes. So I'll just mix up the pizza sauce. Now I'll have to go back and remember what all I put on here for you guys' little recipe. Let's see. Guess I left that inside of here. Nope. My little mixing spoon. We'll just wing it again. A little coconut oil. Alright, so I'm gonna go about a teaspoon again. Salt. And then with these guys, do about a tablespoon, so about 3 teaspoons. Somewhere in there for your tablespoon. And then the garlic. Guess I put it away. I was being a good girl, put my mess away. Okay. And then I think I'm just gonna do about a teaspoon because it can be a little strong. We'll keep the bugs away and the vampires. Fun stuff. Ooh, that would be good in carnitas. I'm wondering what kind of ingredients. That would be kind of fun. Because, yeah, you could, instead of putting the barbecue, just slow cook it. And it's weird because doing it on low, that's what I did for the, or excuse me, warm. It wasn't even on low or high when I did the ripe jackfruit. But it doesn't seem to have that much difference of a texture being ripe or green. It's about the same. Stickier is all. Kind of that film. It's kind of like when you're cutting zucchini up or something, or what's the other one? Cucumbers. You know, you get that filmy stuff on you. And so that's just really the only difference. And I know that there's videos of other people using green jackfruit, and they just do like I did, just cover their hands with some coconut oil or olive oil or something, or whatever oil that you happen to be using. Hopefully it's a healthy one that's good for your heart and body and your brain. That's why I love coconut. I know that there's studies on Alzheimer's and dementia, and my parents actually used it with my grandma before she passed away. She had dementia really bad, was forgetting everybody, and she actually had quite a bit of improvement with just the coconut. I'm not exactly sure how much they used. It was probably a couple tablespoons or more, 2 or 3 times a day would be my guess. I'd have to find out for sure. Olive oil is another one I like to use. I do have grapeseed oil. That's pretty nice. It has a high flash point, so if you are cooking something on a higher heat, then it's not going to light up, because, yeah, we don't want our stove catching on fire or something. But yeah, mostly I use coconut oil, and then olive oil I like to get. They're a little more expensive, but like Italian or French brands, and they just taste good to drizzle, but I don't like to heat them up. I like to eat them more raw. So the spinach I'm going to put on first. I guess I could just transfer this whole cutting board over here. So put this. So the spinach I put on first. That's one of those things that Miss Mila taught me. Is it doesn't get all crunchy and whacked out on you. All that. Just, if you want, you can trim the stems off. I don't always, just whichever works. I don't know if I grabbed enough. I just kind of was guessing when I was throwing things together here. You can top your pizza the way you like. If you want meat on it, that's fine. I'm not gonna be like, dude. The only thing I'd say is just go as humanely processed as you can, as clean as you can. I like to choose, whenever I do eat meat, animals that have been raised on more of a free-range atmosphere. If they're cattle, I prefer grass-fed rather than grain-fed, because cattle just can't digest grain well, and then they end up needing antibiotics, and that does affect, just like when you're thinking about a nursing mother, doctor will say, don't eat certain things because it transfers to the breast milk or whatever. Well, it transfers to our DNA. We literally become what we eat. I know that there's research everywhere, look for yourself, check those things out. So yeah, I don't want the antibiotics in my food. I want to stay away from the hormones. That's disgusting. And I feel better. I don't have as much of a flare-up when I do eat meat as if it's clean. But I choose mostly to eat vegetarian. It's more cost-effective. It does take a little bit of time to get used to, because you got to kind of change your gut bacteria. But I did a lot of raw apple cider vinegar, stuff like that really helped with my gut healing. Kimchi is another thing I'm gonna make. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I'm still tired. I got home actually doing background work yesterday for Studio C, which was interesting. It'll be a very different They had some anime in it, and it was kind of funny, so we got some good laughs. But we chose to go soak at the hot pools and Crystal Hot Springs, which I love. I think they're my favorite because of the high concentration of minerals. Really, really felt better. Just was under the weather Sunday, and yesterday still kind of feeling gooky. I do get viruses. I'm not, totally immune to not getting them. I just don't stay sick. And so I had a fever yesterday morning early and Sunday night, but I was able to kick it. I just took 10,000 IU of D3 Sunday night, and then some more Monday morning. And then I had some matcha tea that I drank just to kind of help with the energy. I took some B vitamins, just lots of liquids. Really, really helped. This pineapple's fresh here that I cut. And so you don't have to, if you want to use it canned, you can, just drain it. I just choose to use more fresh ingredients. A lot of canned ingredients, I guess there's some sort of stuff they spray in it. I don't know if it's a plastic but supposedly there's the hormones. And so this tomato sauce I've been using it up because out of my food storage, but been looking for healthier options, alternatives to bottled or canned. I really wish Idaho would recycle glass and plastic more. That bothers me that we don't as a state. I don't know why. Whenever I've gone to the recycle places, they just say they don't. They do the metal, tin, steel, copper. You can take your soda cans if you drink that kind of stuff. I don't. I choose to stay away from different things like that. But, to each his or her own. So anyway, just load your pizza up. I guess I cut a little bit too much, but that's okay. We'll have extra pineapple to snack on. Probably going to be the same with the jackfruit. But that's alright. This will be interesting. I have not done a jackfruit pizza till today. So, it should be really good. At least it'll be nice and hearty with all this fruits and vegetables and goodness all over the pizza. The boys and I, what did we do a while back? We're always creative with our pizzas. There have been some flops, and there's been some success too. Sardines actually wasn't too bad. We did a pizza with sardines on it. I really like the jackfruit, so I'm going to keep eating it. We've done the shredded, just thinking, Mila, of your comment on the carnitas, the tacos. I bet it would be really good as like a barbecue pizza too. Like using it instead of the barbecue pork or barbecue chicken, or even your sandwiches that you do. That might be good too, because it doesn't taste like pork, but it has pretty much the texture. It does taste like a barbecue. It's good. I really loved it. The boys were smacking their lips on it. But that would be probably a really good vegan option in your restaurant too. Yeah, I really like that carnitas idea. That'd be so yummy. I love Hispanic food. It's probably a big staple that I grew up on, was Hispanic food. Just being raised in Texas for a few years, born in San Antonio, and my dad was a missionary in Guatemala and El Salvador, so he spoke Spanish. My parents said I spoke a little bit when I was little. I don't really remember it, but okay. And then I lived in Los Angeles for a while when I was a missionary, when I was in the LDS church. I have since chosen to leave, personal reasons, but yeah, finally learned Spanish. Probably not as good as some, but yeah, there's a lot of different things. I wonder what would be some other good recipes for jackfruit to try. It would be like Latin based or something like that, because it pretty much it's gonna have that pulled texture. You could always throw it in a food processor. When I did it raw, it was alright on the patties that I made, the jackfruit patties, the cashew jackfruit. I actually liked it better on the texture with the jackfruit falafel. And so when I did that, I just did about the same size jackfruit, which is about, like I said, 2 cups whenever it's cooked. And I did it with 3 cans of chickpeas instead of the full, 6 I think is what usually you use, Mila. I'm guessing, again, I haven't looked at my recipe, it's been a while, but that ended up working really well. That was the only change that I made, is I added the jackfruit and then just really blended it hardcore in the food processor. But it didn't change the flavor at all. So it still, I think it might be like soy, where it kind of adopts the flavor of things around it. But I liked it. The kids liked it. It made really good falafel. So, all right, now that is a beast of a pizza. So we will cook it, and I think I usually just do it till the cheese is melted. And so if you need anything pre-cooked, I would saute it. Like, say if you need, you don't like crunchy vegetables or anything, or like al dente, then stick them in a pan with a little oil and just fry them up till it's to your texture liking. So anyway, that's the pizza with jackfruit on it, and what's it? Cauliflower crust. So really, really simple, fun to do. It does take a little time. Let's see what's it. So it did, from start to finish on prep time, it has taken me about an hour. So it's not for, if you have a lot of, or let's say a little time, then what I would do is do your prep work during times when you have the time. Usually people, like during the week, maybe they'll have 1 or 2 days or on their day off or whatever. I love using my mandolin and my food processor. This one is the ProSmart slicer. I really like it. They were selling them at Fred Meyer. If I could hold on to this thing, a while back. I think it's a lot like what you use, Mila. But it just has like your thin slice, and then you've got your thin julienne, thick slice, and thick julienne. So it's pretty much, I think, the same one that we were using, like that you use in the restaurant. I just gotta rinse it off real good. That one's nice when I'm slicing small things. Excuse me, I did my onion on it on thick slice for this pizza, or excuse me, thick julienne, and that just gave me a good thick chop. What was it? The other thing I did? I just did the pineapple by hand. I do have a pineapple spiral cutter. I just don't like how much they waste, and so I just choose to cut it myself. And so I'll just cut the rind off first, and then I don't even worry about coring it. I just cut it up, and then whenever I come across pieces of core, I just cut them off, trim them off. Chickens like it. So, they pretty much are my little garbage disposal. So, leave it in for a few more minutes. Yeah. I guess if there's any questions about the pizza, feel free to ask. If there's something I didn't cover. And anything that you would like to see that I would be making, yeah, shoot me a request or a question. I had a friend earlier today that was talking about smoking addiction that she has, that she wants to curb. When it comes to addictions, I think one of the best things we can do is to detox our bodies while we're also doing an emotional mental process. I work with what's called neurolinguistics programming, and so I could do something, it's called a blowout, or there's also, what's the technical terms? I tweak things, and so a collapse. I'm trying to remember what do you call it? Collapse. Anyway, anchor collapse. And so basically what I would do is I would work with the person on anchoring specific points of, what they love about their habit, what they hate about it, and then we sort it out. And just the way, I'm not going to give the secrets, because I think it's kind of like, if you know what's in the sauce, then it's not going to work so much. Yeah, so anyway, but I would basically blow out those anchors, and it would be doable. Just, I think, she lives in Texas, so it'd be kind of, we could try it over the phone, I don't know. It really works better in person, so I guess it would have to be finding a good coach that can do one of those. I know if you drink a lot of citrusy things like high vitamin C, I would work on D3 deficiency as well. I notice if I'm down on my Bs, I have more cravings, because I used to have a really bad sugar addiction. Bad sugar addiction. And it took a while, but once I got my gut back into balance, it helped. Smoking, I think there's also a habitual thing, and so do something with your hands. Get yourself busy. Maybe take up a hobby. Start drumming, or maybe drawing, or writing. There's a lot of things you can do. But yeah, I think I would go with detoxing your body, just personally. But there's a lot of other things that, could be looked into as far as breaking different addictions. So anyway, let's check this pizza and see where we're at. I like my veggies a little al dente. Looks like probably can go maybe a couple more minutes. It's the first time I've done the jackfruit in the pizza, especially green, so I don't even know what the texture is going to be like. Get these guys ready. So this is the avocado. Nice mess to clean up. And there's fruit flies. They're like fairies or something. They always show up in the weirdest times. It's like you won't have any fruit flies, and then all of a sudden, where did they come from? So, we like a lot of fruit. I noticed with this Russian pyramid technology that I talked about in one of my previous videos several months ago, it's actually keeping like the bananas greener. They don't really turn so much. Guess I gotta use my blood oranges. But yeah, it seems like the fruit just kind of lasts better. It was kind of a cool doodad, but yeah, that's my funny little science projects. You guys got some sort of funny little project going on, I guess. I nerd out with science. But it's too much fun. You just gotta. Okay, I bet the jackfruit would be really good in a smoothie. It's already cut up. Yeah, make like a tropical smoothie out of it. Put some pineapple with it. Maybe some mango. That'd be another good one with jackfruit. Ooh, peaches would be good too, I bet. Yummo, yummo. I haven't done one in a while. Sometimes I have a hard time with the green smoothies, but I do them on occasion just because I know they're good for me while I'm choking it down. I do better when I'm dancing. Alright, so there's that lovely pizza ready to go. Alright. It does look... Yeah, I'd say saute your stuff before if you want it softer. But I like a little life in my food, so it doesn't always get cooked well done. But that's my personal preference. So just kind of get the avocado on and it's ready to go. Alright, I hope you guys have an amazing night, day, wherever you happen to be watching. Just let me know what you would like to learn next, and I will do my best to do some research on it. And whether it's making some more food or just chatting, you got questions, I'll do what I can to let you know when I'm on, and we can just chat away. Thinking about doing another one on maybe like healthy eating. I've had a lot of people asking about weight loss. Building muscle is another good one. Since remission, which actually is April 25th, is my anniversary for the adrenal cancer. Gosh, what is that, 3 years? Wow, yeah, coming up on my 3-year anniversary. It's all about the immune system. Everything that I researched always came back to the immune system, about eating fresh, eating healthy, keeping your body alkaline. There's so many things out there, people are saying this cures cancer, that cures cancer, yada yada. The reason it probably does is probably because it's alkalizing the body. And so that's definitely something that you want to do, is alkalize your body. Make sure that you are hydrated, you're getting the minerals and things that your body needs, vitamins. And reducing sugar, reducing artificial anything. You want to love that body that you're in. So, anyway, I'm excited to have dinner. Love you guys. This is Amaria Sweet signing off. We'll see you guys again.